All right, we're back with 1JZ Supra today. So last video we left off, you guys saw us getting the new fuel rail in, getting the injectors in, getting our feed and return lines plumbed in, getting a regulator put on this thing, and just kind of tying up our fuel system. Then we talked a little bit about our harness. We got pretty far on that in the last video, but we didn't end up getting finished. Will's put in a ton of work over the last couple days. You can see here, he has all of the ECU side connectors on and ready to go. He has the adapter harness for the body harnesses all wired in and ready to go. And he built up this fancy little relay block and fuse block here so that we can get all of our fuses and relays working. And he's almost done with the harness, so today Will's gonna move on to this end of the harness and get all of his sensor connectors and all this stuff put in up here. And then we'll wrap up the harness with some Testa tape and finish that up so that we can test the operation of this end of the harness. The other thing that we need to get done today is we need to wire in our fuel pump. You saw in the last video we were having some problems getting that to kick on, so we're going to rewire that circuit as well as replacing this main power wire running up to the fuse block and the ECU and everything up there. So my job for today is gonna be to run that wire. I need to pull the passenger seat out, I need to pull the rear seats out, pull the carpet up on that end so we can run that wire underneath everything so it's not just hanging out in the cabin of the car. And then once that's done, we can get everything plugged in, we can test the operation of the fuel pump, and we should have all of these engine connectors on so that we can hopefully move forward to maybe hearing this thing turn over, turn on, crank, wherever we get to with it.
Prime the fuel pump at minimum.
Absolutely, like you said, at minimum priming the fuel pump, make sure we have no leaks in the fuel system, and then we can kind of start reassembling everything around it. But main goal for today is wiring, trying to get all that stuff situated. So like I said, I'm gonna move on to pulling some of these interior bits out. Should be a pretty easy going day today, so we'll see where we get with it. Wiring can definitely be one of those things that takes a long time, and it's very slow progression, so you take the wins where you can get them and you just keep on moving forward. But he did a really good job with all this stuff in here, kind of to show this thing off again. Once I get that power wire ran, I'm gonna go ahead and get this connected to his harness in there, and then this is the signal wire that's going to run back to our relay in the back of the car for our fuel pump. And then everything from, you know, that part of the harness back as far as wiring should be good. And then maybe we can get on to testing some lights and some of like the auxiliary functions of the body harness and all that stuff, just to verify that we don't need to keep digging farther than we are already. So hopefully by the end of the day, we'll have a complete harness, or mostly complete harness. We'll have a working fuel pump, and we should have switch power and get the starter to work and all that jazz. So I'll probably stop talking there. Like I said, I'm gonna get the seat ripped out, and then once I have kind of the interior bits pulled apart, we'll show you how we're gonna run this line, get everything put back together. We'll kind of take it from there. All right, first things first, let's get the seat out. These seats are like 80 pounds each, so this is gonna suck to get out of here with this kind of limited space that I'm working with, but we'll knock it out. Huh, seat's out. Find some goodies under the seat. There's a little fire extinguisher down here. Heck yeah. All right, cool. This is back seat out. All right, now sick, check this out. Factory Toyota amp too. Pretty neat. My car didn't have this. I wonder if it still works. Definitely not a stock radio, so somewhat doubtful. And somebody went to work with the butt connectors on this thing. Probably not the way I'd have done it. Move on. Get these rear seats out. You'll see this little pull tab. Give that a yank. The seat comes right up. Ho ho! Might have had a little furry resident under your seat. Oh, I guess we'll find out. Thought it'd be worse. Touching that. That's how you catch a foreign disease. Ooh, a quarter. All right, cool. It's been a while since I've done this, so we don't need to remove the backs. The back seats, at least the back rests of the back seats, can stay in place because we got room to do this. So you'll kind of see as a bit of an example how they ran that wire through there and these wires here. We can just go under this, have that run through here, and then we'll pull up the carpet by pulling this green kind of retainer out, pull the carpet back, be able to run that wire along the floor. And there are some, like you see where this harness goes, like some holes between these humps where the seats mount to, that we can run this wire through so that the carpet can sit flush again and you're not gonna have like a random bump. So basically, you feed this down through here. I wonder if I could do this with one hand. And now, voila, there's the other end. So pull the carpet up real quick, get that ran to where we want it, and we'll get everything hooked up from there. And then this, you were saying it was gonna splice off into 4?
Yeah.
So then we'll have our 4 power wires. All right, check it out. We got some things figured out here. So we got a new spot for our battery to sit. We're gonna make a tie down with some riv nuts and possibly a battery box or tray or whatever we're gonna do to fully fix the battery in that location there. We have our power and our ground wire. They're gonna come out from underneath the carpet and the wood that's in here to kind of block up the spare tire wall, come out from under here and hook up to our battery. So this is the wire that we're running now. The way I'm doing this is, we're gonna come off the positive battery lug here. It's gonna run down, it runs underneath here and comes out where our normal power wire does. And then we'll feed down below the seats down there. From there, as you can see, it comes out here. This is all the length of wire that we had, and this needs to break off into 4 individual smaller wires anyway. So it's okay that it terminates a little early. I wish it was a little longer, but it is what it is. So our next goal here is to get this carpet up. So the plan is I'm gonna try to spare having to take this off because all these clips love to break. You basically just like pull this off and there's clips that hold this in. I would like to avoid doing that. So I'm going to take out the screw down here. We can peel the carpet back here, and this wire is basically gonna run right down to here and terminate under the carpet where we'll splice it off into our 4 pieces. Those 4 pieces will then run. There's a hole right here where you see this harness go through. That goes all the way through, so we'll be able to run that, and then we'll basically come out of the carpet up by the firewall up there, and those 4 wires will run to wherever they need to run, and I will let Will take it from there. All my job is to do is to get the wires in place. And then the idea with the relay box and that green wire that needs to run back to our fuel pump, which is that one there, is essentially going to follow the same path but backwards. So I'm gonna get all this laid out and then we'll turn it over to Will to get everything actually pinned in and working properly. So, all right, so got the 4 wires cut here. I ran them just to kind of show this real quick. I'm gonna come up from above the carpet there, and then under here is it where they will connect to that red wire. And then per Williams instructions, extra nice once it's crimped.
Yes, sir. Wiring we do on this car, we're gonna hold ourselves to a higher standard.
Oh, absolutely. I'm learning. I don't claim to be a professional, but I have a William. I'm already 1 step ahead of the game. Having the right tools is all that matters. My tool is a William. No, I'm just kidding. That's so f***ed up. So how's your process? How's your progress going up here?
It's taking longer than I'd imagine it. Right now I'm just doing the ground. These are all the grounds for the system. So like switch power to the relay is like grounded here. Ignition coils are grounded here. The shielding on the trigger wheels are grounded here, and then I'm gonna put a big lug. I'm gonna put a big lug on this and put it on the engine block.
Nice.
Yes, sir.
Cool. Let's get back to it. Nice, that crimps on, a little cleanup, and we'll crimp the wires that we just ran inside.
Maybe not necessary.
Poke mitigation. Don't want to get a bunch of holes in your finger. Better than doing nothing at all. All right, I got the 4 wires stranded together. We got a crimp on this end here. So now we're going to use this to connect the tooth with our good old smack and crimp. So you need some heat shrink?
That's a good idea. So yeah, see, grab, yeah.
Bam. Bam. And pro tip, marine heat shrink or the adhesive heat shrink.
Yeah.
You want this stuff, if I can fish this out, I'll show you here.
Everything else is junk.
Yeah, honestly. It probably won't show up on camera, but you see how shiny it is in here? There is actually an adhesive that when you heat this up, that adhesive melts. That kind of help keep stuff together. So if you're gonna use heat shrink, highly recommend grabbing the marine stuff. Because obviously going without saying, it's waterproof. Or water resistant, if you will.
Tug test. Is that solid?
Give her the old tug test, yeah. Beautiful. Time to bust out the old trusty crack lighter. We'll get that all shrunk down and put her back in. Might be able to see the glue on there. Maybe not. All right, she's all done. Let's put her back in the car. Stupid vines. Well, it's all back together. So we can see we have our crimped end here, runs under our plastics, follows our power lift cable back under the seat there. That'll all get covered up with plastics and the carpet and whatnot that sits there. Runs under our seat here. Got the rear seats put back in. Got our carpet laid back. Got all the tabs pushed back down. Runs up under the carpet, up under there. And then up into the dash. And we'll terminate out here. Obviously we made them significantly longer than we needed to, but better to be too long than too short. And Will wanted an extra couple feet on them. So what Will says, Will gets. So my job here is done. We're gonna wait to put the passenger seat back in just because it's gonna make working in there significantly easier, and that seat is pretty easy to take in and out. So we'll wait for him to get a few more of these connectors done, and then it's party time. At least get this thing, get the timing light thrown on this thing, make sure the ignition timing is right, get the fuel pump to kick on, maybe some other things, look for some fuel leaks, blah, blah, blah. But
theoretically, once I get those 4 power wires hooked up to the relay block, we should be able to just hook up the battery, key on, test the fuel pump. But let's just get as much time as we can.
Oh, you know what I didn't do? Oh, I forgot to run the green wire. Well, look, it's coming back out. Well, you guys know the drill. It's pretty easy. So we'll bust that out real quick, and then got a little overzealous there, but easy. Okay, now it's done. Got our pretty little fuse box in here. Got our green wire that runs and follows the rest of our wiring. And voila. Comes out the same place as our power wire. And then I will let Mr. William decide what he wants to do with that. So again, it'll probably still run under that piece of wood that'll sit back there, and it looks pretty.
Yeah, that'll be good, the battery there. So figure out which one of these is switch power to this. That's your assignment. And then replace it with that green wire.
Be that hard. Give me a multimeter. Yeah, I just wanted to show this off. This is what this will end up looking like. This will obviously attach to here. Wires will come up over there. Obviously get those hung up a little better, but got a nicely sorted boot. Hell yeah. Looking good for sure. So that will work a little bit more on getting these pins put in up here. I think he's working on the injectors right now, getting all those plug-ins put on. Once he's done with that, we'll be able to test his fuel pump and see if that all works. Honestly, I'm stoked with the progression so far. I think things are coming together really well. It definitely already looks way more sorted than when we got it. I mean, just getting rid of all the crusty engine harness wiring and the shitty wiring that was back here for like the fuel pump and the battery wires and everything, like significantly better than it was. So once wiring's done, it'll just be a lot of like small buttoning up from there. Like I think he's got another set of doors, so like, you know, kind of that can get taken care of. You know, it interferes with the fender up here a little bit when we open and close that door. Got a bumper up there, we can get the front end put back together. And now instead of having like the, I don't know if we showed it before, but there was like this really sketchy fan control that had this little like tube that kind of sat in line with one of the coolant hoses. And that was, I believe, his fan control from before.
Somehow.
Yeah.
Got rid of that, got rid of like the relay up here, the wires. The ECU will take care of that now.
Now all that will be ECU controlled like William said, and whew, happy with it. And along with all those fueling components, it looks so much better under here. So yeah, like I said, let's finish up doing the rest of these plug-ins and crimps and blah, 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 and see where the night takes us, huh? All right, quick little update with where we're at. Got a bunch of stuff pinned in down here. All of our injector clips are on. We got like a map sensor plug on. Starter's all set up. Will's working on the triggers right now for, excuse me, the crank trigger right now. Cam trigger should all be wired in, ready to go. Powers and grounds are good to go. So the only thing that we have left to do now is the 4 wires on the fuse box and a few crimps that he's doing over there. And we should be good to at least test it. I don't think we're gonna have a running car tonight, unfortunately.
But we'll be able, we might be able to try out the timing light.
Yeah. So we could have some small wins today. We want to see if we can get the timing light to flash and get the car to turn over and get the fuel pump to turn on, which we were about to try here in a second, because all of that shit should be wired in as soon as he's done with these next few crimps. So we'll have a little bit of success today, and then we'll come back at this next time and hopefully actually hear this thing run for the first time. But man, the harness really is turning out good. I mean, it still looks a little bit like a spaghetti mess right now, but it sure is turning out good. Everything will have brand new connectors on it, so nothing's gonna break if we have to take stuff back apart and blah, blah, blah. All the fueling is done, which I know I touched on before, but had to go back down and somewhat revise the adapter that we made to the hardline down there. It goes hardline to AN, so this little olive that kind of gets squished in between there. Made sure everything was tight, back end secured. Yeah, looking real good, man. Like I said, wiring is a very slow process, so it's gonna kind of seem like we're skipping around a lot, but trust me, we're doing all the little stuff right now that's kind of hard to film, so just moving a little slow at the moment.
Connector by connector.
Yeah.
This shit takes time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, it is that time. Everything in our fuse box is hooked up. Everything in here is all wired in and hooked up. Our relay box is in. All of the fuel pump stuff is wired up in the back as well. All of our fuel pump stuff back there is wired in. The battery is attached. As you can see, we have some lighting in here. So we have power to the car. So now we can test to make sure this fuel pump is actually working. So I'm gonna hit the key real quick. We take a listen. Ooh, I don't know if you can hear that, but the fuel pump is going. I don't see any leaks under the car. No leak in there. Ah. We have a fuel pump. Gotta adjust the regulator a little bit, obviously, but we're not pissing fuel anywhere, so that's good. So that's a win right there for sure. Gauges are still lighting up. Ooh, man. We were a little worried that some of the interior stuff with the relays weren't working, but it looks like those are lighting up, so there's a chance that those gauges will still work. So the next thing now, Will is going to load a 1J base map onto this. I doubt it's gonna start. Well, it can't start. We don't have injectors or ignition coils or anything on there. We just don't want to drive anything that the ECU may try to do that is not hooked up properly. So he's gonna upload the 1JZ map that he made earlier today, and we'll see if the starter works.
Yeah, see if the starter works and like see if it is triggering the first ignition blowout.
Yeah, I did bring a timing light as well, so I'm gonna get that set up real quick so we can see if the triggers are picking up and all that good stuff, just to see if what we did today bared any fruit. We're already looking good because our fuel pump is working, so let's keep hoping for the best. All he needs to re-download the EMU Classic software and the drivers for said software. All right, give us a minute. We can do that. Will it connect?
Oh, I don't even, now it's saying it's trying to download something. I don't get Wi-Fi right here. Just wait. My Wi-Fi router is like on the other side of the house. All right, it's 11:37, Kyle.
Yeah, well, I work at 7 a.m. All right, so the software's being a little bastard, so we are going to pull the fuse for the ECU. Go ahead and bump the starter. I would run up there and make sure nothing's touching your belt. We don't rip any wires off. But once I get a thumbs up, we'll give it a shot. You ready? Well, we're hearing the solenoid kick, so probably just battery low. Oh yeah, I mean the lights are like dimming like crazy when we're doing it. I wonder if negative was a little loose. So let's try this again. Hey, that's a good sign. Here, hit it again. Oh,
Disconnected the ECU.
yeah, no ECU. That's not gonna do anything. Well, hey, we heard it turn over.
Hell yeah, that's a win.
That's a
If
win.
we can do that, like, this car is gonna run.
Yeah, absolutely. We have fuel and we have rotation. Now we need to get the spark and the...
Yeah, if we can see this coil go, like, this car is gonna be run, like, pin all these connectors, and this car is gonna run.
Yeah. And it's just some tuning, which, I mean, it's a base map will run this car.
Yeah.
Because there's really nothing else done to it. So, that said, well, I guess you got injectors. You'll need to scale those.
Yeah,
But,
amongst other things.
Plus-
But then I have to, like, do all the ignition coils,
yeah.
do, like, the fans, do some of these extra sensors that are not connected right now.
Yeah, I suppose this thing is going to be on E, so I forgot about that. Forgot our
I
ethanol,
mean, that just needs to be plugged in.
ethanol content John down there.
Oh, we could also plug in the TPS.
Well, Kyle is tired. Today was successful. I am happy. We're looking good.
I feel much more confident about it starting on this than the stock ECU.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Now we have a known good harness because Will made it.
Right.
Oh, Jesus. I hope the camera picked that up. That was the biggest fucking June bug. You get away from me, you f***er. Well, anyway, we have a known good harness now. We know where everything goes. We know what sensors are working. We know what sensors aren't working. We're on a standalone ECU now. We have our E content hooked up. We're looking good. So, probably gonna end the video here because I'm tired. I wanna go home. So if you like the video, make sure you leave a comment, smash that like button. We'll see y'all next time. Oh yeah, don't forget to subscribe. That would huge help. Thanks. Cool. Bye.